Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel Thunder Productions. If you're a fan of mind-blowing music, epic bands, and ranking the absolute best of the best, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the legendary world of Linkin Park. From their groundbreaking debut album Hybrid Theory to their evolution with From Zero, Linkin Park has been shaping the sound of rock, rap, and alternative music for over 2 decades. But today, we're doing something special. We're ranking 96 Linkin Park songs, from 96 all the way to number 1. Which tracks will rise to the top? Which ones will leave you wanting more? You'll have to stick around to find out. So buckle up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get this ranking started. Let's go. 96, Darker Than Blood, album, One More Light 2017, never performed live. Musical style. This track features a synth-heavy, atmospheric sound with a melancholic, almost haunting vibe. It's a departure from the heavier rock sound of earlier Linkin Park albums, fitting into the electronic pop-rock style that One More Light embraced. Lyrics meaning. The song explores themes of emotional pain and inner turmoil. The lyrics Darker Than Blood suggest something that is intensely painful and all-consuming. It can be interpreted as dealing with personal loss, a strained relationship, or confronting deep feelings of despair. 95, Until It Breaks, album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. The track features a blend of electronic beats, hip-hop-inspired rhythms, and rock elements, typical of Linkin Park's Living Things sound. It's a dynamic track with different sections, shifting from atmospheric and subdued to intense and aggressive. Lyrics meaning. The song delves into themes of inner conflict and emotional tension. The phrase Until It Breaks suggests a sense of pushing beyond limits, whether it's enduring pain or pushing through mental struggles. It reflects frustration and the point of breaking under pressure. Live performance, only performed a few times during the Living Things tour. Lighting and effects. During the Living Things tour 2012, Until It Breaks was typically performed with a dramatic and energetic stage setup. The lighting was often dark and moody during the verses, with flashes of bright white or red lights during the more aggressive moments of the song. There would be a heavy use of strobes and rapid light changes in sync with the beat, adding to the tension of the song. Stage performance. Mike Shinoda's rapping and Chester Bennington's intense vocals were key to the live energy, and their interaction with the crowd was electric. The band would be bathed in spotlights during the chorus, with Chester's high notes and Mike's rapping complemented by visual effects like flashing LED screens and rapid light changes. 94, Lies Greed Misery, album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. This track is fast-paced and aggressive, with a mix of heavy guitar riffs and electronic beats. It has a punkish energy, with a strong driving rhythm and an edgy tone, characteristic of Living Things' blend of electronic and alternative rock. Lyrics meaning. As the title suggests, the song is a critique of the darker sides of human nature, such as greed, deceit, and self-interest. It explores how these destructive qualities can distort the world and people's lives, reflecting a sense of anger and disillusionment with societal corruption. Live performance, performed on the Living Things tour. Lighting and effects. The performance of Lies Greed Misery was energetic and frenetic, with intense strobe lighting, flashing lights, and neon-colored effects to match the song's aggressive tone. The visuals would often emphasize chaos, bright lights cutting through dark, hazy fog, adding a sense of tension to the stage. The backdrop featured glitchy visuals and fast-paced animation, aligning with the song's thematic critique of society. Stage performance. The band would get into an aggressive groove, especially with Chester's intense vocals. The rapid pace of the song made for a lively, high-intensity performance, with crowd interactions and motion happening frequently. The combination of Mike Shinoda's and Chester's contrasting vocals played a key role, while the driving beat kept the energy up throughout. 93, Wretches and Kings, album, 1,000 Suns 2010, never performed live. Musical style. The track features a more experimental, industrial sound typical of 1,000 Suns, incorporating electronic elements, samples, and layered textures. It's a mixture of orchestral and electronic music, with a dramatic, cinematic feel. Lyrics meaning. The song critiques the cyclical nature of power, violence, and control. Wretches and Kings contrast the powerless and the powerful, exploring themes of revolution, inequality, and the way power structures oppress the marginalized. It suggests a world in which those in power are both corrupt and destructive. 92. Skin to Bone album, The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style, a gritty, heavy rock track that fits into the aggressive, raw sound of The Hunting Party. It features sharp, distorted guitars and intense drumming, reminiscent of classic rock, but with a modern edge. Lyrics meaning, the song talks about vulnerability and the harshness of reality. Skin to Bone emphasizes stripping things down to their most basic, fragile form, suggesting a sense of loss, vulnerability, and the rawness of human experience. It's a reflection on emotional and physical exposure. Live performance, performed on the Hunting Party tour. Lighting and effects. When Linkin Park performed Skin to Bone on the Hunting Party Tour 2014, the lighting was typically darker and more raw, reflecting the song's gritty rock vibe. The stage often had deep red and orange lighting, which created a harsh, almost industrial atmosphere. Smoke and fog were used to heighten the feeling of tension. The stage design was relatively minimalistic, with sharp backlighting to accentuate the silhouettes of the band members. Stage performance. The energy was heavy and intense, with Mike and Chester engaging the audience through their passionate performances. The heavier guitar riffs and rapid drumming made for a high-impact live show, with the crowd responding to the raw energy. The band's interaction was more visceral, giving the song a sense of emotional release. 91. Sharp Edges album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. This song has a folk rock vibe with acoustic guitars and a lighter, more upbeat rhythm compared to the rest of One More Light. It's one of the more unusual tracks on the album, with a catchy, sing-along quality. Lyrics meaning, the lyrics explore the idea of taking risks and dealing with the consequences. Sharp edges represent the dangers and challenges that come with pursuing something meaningful, even if it leads to emotional or physical pain. It's about the struggle and the pursuit of something real. Live performance, performed on the One More Light tour. Lighting and effects. Sharp Edges from One More Light 2017 had a lighter, more upbeat performance vibe, which was a contrast to many of the darker tracks from the album. The performance was typically bathed in warm, golden lighting, complementing the song's folk rock and acoustic feel. The stage setup was often more open and free-spirited, with rustic visuals on the LED screens, resembling something akin to a road trip or adventurous journey. Stage performance. The vibe during the live performance was much more relaxed and celebratory compared to other tracks. The song often included a lot of crowd participation, with fans singing along to the chorus. The acoustic guitars and simpler percussion were central, and the band members were often seen smiling and interacting more with the audience. There was a sense of lightheartedness and fun. 90. Heavy album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. The song features a minimalist, electronic pop sound with a slow, driving beat and subdued instrumentation, setting the tone for the more electronic-focused direction of One More Light. Lyrics meaning, Heavy is about the emotional weight and burden of mental health struggles. The lyrics express a feeling of being overwhelmed by depression, with the song depicting the internal battle of trying to find relief while struggling with personal demons. It's a deeply vulnerable and honest song about emotional pain. Live performance, performed live extensively on the One More Light tour in 2017. Lighting and effects. Heavy was a standout song from One More Light, and during its live performances, the visuals were often emotional and striking. The lighting was softer compared to the more intense moments of the show, with cool blues and purples creating a somber atmosphere. The backdrop often featured abstract visuals or slow-motion imagery, emphasizing themes of inner turmoil and struggle. Stage performance. The stage performance of Heavy was emotionally charged, especially given Chester's vocal delivery. The combination of his raw, vulnerable singing and Mike Shinoda's rapping created a powerful dynamic, with both engaging deeply with the song's themes of mental health and emotional burdens. During performances, the band often turned to crowd participation, creating a collective sense of support during the chorus. The lighting was designed to reflect the deep emotional nature of the song, with slower, more gradual changes to highlight the song's theme of inner pain. 89. A Battle Symphony album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. The song blends electronic elements with a smooth, uplifting rhythm and an anthemic feel, creating a sense of empowerment amidst vulnerability. It's a more optimistic track compared to some of the darker songs on the album. Lyrics meaning: the song speaks to resilience and determination in the face of adversity. The Battle Symphony represents the ongoing fight to overcome challenges and inner struggles. It's a message of persistence, encouraging listeners to keep fighting through difficult times. Live performance, performed live on the One More Light tour in 2017. Lighting and effects. The lighting during Battle Symphony was often uplifting and powerful, with bright lights sweeping across the stage to match the song's theme of perseverance. The lighting used shades of blue, purple, and bright white to create an uplifting, yet emotionally charged atmosphere. The backdrop often featured vibrant and energetic visuals, including symbols of conflict and growth, reinforcing the idea of overcoming obstacles. Stage performance. The band performed Battle Symphony with a lot of energy and spirit. Chester's soaring vocals were particularly compelling during the live rendition, and Mike's rapped verses added a dynamic contrast. The audience was encouraged to sing along, making the performance feel like a battle cry, a collective act of resilience. The performance often included lots of hand gestures and raised fists, symbolizing strength in the face of adversity. 88. Good Goodbye album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. This track has a more upbeat, pop-rap influence with a catchy chorus. It's a blend of hip-hop, electronic, and rock, showcasing the album's experimental and genre-blending style. Lyrics meaning: Good Goodbye is about letting go of toxic relationships and moving on from people who no longer serve a positive purpose in your life. The song captures the empowerment that comes with saying goodbye and reclaiming control over your emotional well-being. Live performance, performed live on the One More Light tour in 2017. Lighting and effects. Good Goodbye featured flashy, high-energy visuals in line with the track's upbeat, hip-hop-infused nature. The lighting was bright, using neon colors like green, purple, and blue, matching the modern, electronic elements of the song. The stage design often included pulsating lights and animated visuals that mirrored the song's theme of liberation and moving on from toxic relationships. Stage performance. The performance of Good Goodbye was full of energy, with Mike Shinoda rapping and Chester leading the powerful chorus. Linkin Park often incorporated additional guest musicians or rappers during this song to enhance the live experience, which made for a dynamic performance. The crowd would usually be hyped up, with many people dancing and singing along to the song's infectious chorus. The song's message of empowerment was palpable through the enthusiasm on stage and in the audience. 87 In Pieces album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Very rare, if not at all, live performances of this song have been done. Musical style. The song has a mellow, introspective feel with a mix of acoustic guitars and electronic textures, fitting into the more experimental, alt-rock sound of Minutes to Midnight. It's more subdued and reflective. Lyrics meaning: the song is about emotional fragmentation and the feeling of being broken or incomplete. The lyrics explore the difficulty of dealing with personal pain, whether it's due to a breakup or internal struggles. It speaks to the process of rebuilding and healing, even when things feel irreparably damaged. 86 A Shadow of the Day album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical style. Shadow of the Day features a more atmospheric, mellow rock sound compared to earlier Linkin Park songs. It has a softer, more melodic feel with gentle acoustic guitars, ambient synthesizers, and a slow build-up. The song is driven by a combination of soft electronic beats and traditional rock instrumentation, making it one of the more radio-friendly tracks from the album. Lyrics meaning: the song explores themes of loss, heartache, and acceptance. The lyrics speak to the emotional process of facing the end of a relationship or the death of someone, describing the inevitability of change and the personal toll it takes. In the Shadow of the Day suggests being overshadowed by grief or the weight of a painful situation. It touches on the difficulty of letting go, but finding peace in the end. Live performances. Shadow of the Day was performed extensively during the Minutes to Midnight tour 2007-2008, and continued to appear in later setlists. Lighting. The lighting for Shadow of the Day was soft and melancholic, with shades of blue, purple, and white being used to create a reflective atmosphere. During the more emotional parts of the song, gentle spotlights would focus on Chester's vocals, while the rest of the band was bathed in softer, ambient lighting. Occasionally, fog would be used for a dreamy effect, heightening the song's emotional tone. Stage and crowd. The stage often had a minimalistic setup during this song, with just the band illuminated against a backdrop of abstract visuals or footage of clouds and sunlight, reinforcing the sense of reflection and longing. The crowd was generally quieter and more introspective, with many people swaying and singing along, especially during the chorus. The song's somber tone encouraged an emotional connection between the band and the audience. 85. The Little Things Give You Away, album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical style. This track is a haunting, orchestral-driven song with a gradual build-up that becomes more intense. It features atmospheric strings, piano, and percussion, giving it a cinematic feel. The song builds to a powerful crescendo in the chorus, making it one of the more emotionally charged tracks on the album. Lyrics meaning. The song reflects on how small actions or details can often have a much bigger impact on a person's life than initially thought. It critiques the complacency of individuals and the world at large, suggesting that people often ignore the little things that add up to larger consequences. It's a commentary on societal and personal neglect, with lyrics that touch on environmental destruction, war, and personal responsibility. Performances. The Little Things Give You Away was performed during the Minutes to Midnight Tour 2007-2008, and sometimes appeared in later performances, particularly during setlist changes. Lighting. The lighting during The Little Things Give You Away was dramatic and cinematic. The song often featured a gradual build-up, with the lighting starting dim and moody using reds, oranges, and yellows before slowly building in intensity, reaching brighter moments during the chorus. The use of strings, often projected on large screens accompanied by stark, contrast-heavy lighting gave the song a sense of urgency and gravity. Stage and crowd. On stage, large LED screens often displayed thematic imagery, such as war footage, environmental destruction, and urban decay, aligning with the song's message. The crowd was more reflective during this performance, with many fans holding up their phone lights or lighters, contributing to a collective feeling of solemnity and awareness. 84. Talking to Myself, album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. Talking to Myself has a more electronic, pop-rock vibe, characteristic of the One More Light album. It's driven by a catchy, synth-heavy melody with a blend of electronic beats and guitar layers. The track has an introspective, anthemic quality, blending pop hooks with emotional undertones. Lyrics meaning. The song speaks about inner turmoil and self-doubt, as the title suggests. The lyrics describe someone struggling with their own thoughts and feelings, feeling disconnected from their true self and searching for a way to reconcile their inner conflict. The idea of talking to myself emphasizes the isolation that comes from being lost in one's own mind, a feeling of being trapped in internal struggles and facing an existential crisis. Live performances. Talking to Myself was performed during the One More Light Tour 2017, and it was one of the standout tracks from that album. Lighting. The lighting was bright, colorful, and dynamic, in keeping with the song's electronic, upbeat feel. The stage was often washed in neon and pastel colors like blues, greens, pinks, and purples, aligning with the synth-driven production. There were moments of pulsing strobe lights and LED visuals that complemented the song's introspective yet upbeat vibe. Stage and crowd. The stage design was sleek and modern, with large screens showing abstract, shifting patterns or visualizations of broken glass and fragmented imagery, underscoring the idea of inner conflict. The crowd was energetic and interactive, with fans enthusiastically dancing and singing along. The song's infectious rhythm and emotional vulnerability led to lots of crowd participation, with people holding up their phones and flashing lights during the chorus. 83. A Powerless, album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. Powerless blends electronic elements with orchestral strings, giving it an atmospheric and cinematic feel. The song is mellow yet emotional, with a delicate piano melody and smooth percussion that build into a powerful climax. The music evokes a sense of helplessness and loss, matching the song's themes. Lyrics meaning. Powerless is about feeling helpless in the face of an overwhelming situation, and the realization that, despite one's best efforts, control over certain aspects of life is impossible. It also speaks to the vulnerability that comes with emotional exposure and the tension between trying to maintain power and the realization that sometimes we are powerless to change the outcomes of life. It's an emotional reflection on the futility of control. Live performances. Powerless was performed during the Living Things Tour 2012, and some later performances. Lighting. The lighting for Powerless was atmospheric and moody, often starting with cool blues and grays to evoke a sense of isolation. As the song built to its intense chorus, the lighting would gradually brighten, shifting to warm golds and yellows, symbolizing the eventual surge of emotion and realization. There were also flashes of white during the climax to match the song's explosive energy. Stage and crowd. The stage featured dark, minimalistic elements with strategic use of projection screens that showed abstract visuals, such as distorted faces and glitchy graphics that represented the internal struggle conveyed in the lyrics. The audience was deeply involved in the performance, with many fans singing along, particularly during the soaring chorus. 82. Iridescent. Album. 1000 Suns 2010. Musical style. Iridescent is a beautiful, ambient ballad with electronic textures and soaring vocals. It's slower paced, with rich layers of sound, including orchestral elements and synthesizers. The track builds gradually, giving it a dreamlike, ethereal quality. The sound is calm and uplifting, yet tinged with a sense of melancholy. Lyrics meaning. The song's lyrics deal with themes of hope, renewal, and healing. Iridescent refers to the idea of light breaking through darkness, symbolizing resilience and the ability to overcome difficulties. The song suggests that even though life can feel overwhelming and chaotic, there is always a chance for recovery, and that brighter days lie ahead. It's a message of optimism and finding strength after hardship. Live performances. Iridescent was a significant part of the 1000 Suns Tour 2010-2011, often performed in the later stages of the set. Lighting. Iridescent was bathed in gentle, ethereal lighting. The stage often featured blue, purple, and silver lights, creating a dreamy, uplifting atmosphere. During the chorus, golden light would wash over the band, symbolizing hope and renewal, while fog effects added to the song's transcendent feel. Stage and crowd. The stage design featured subtle animations and soft visuals to enhance the uplifting nature of the song. The crowd was emotionally engaged, with many fans singing along to the anthem-like chorus. The vibe was one of unity and collective emotional release, and some fans even held up their arms, creating a swaying, waves of light effect with their phones. 81. Blackout. Album. 1000 Suns 2010. Musical style. Blackout is one of the most experimental tracks on 1000 Suns, blending industrial rock with electronic beats and distorted vocal effects. The song is aggressive, chaotic, and intense, with an overwhelming atmosphere that complements its apocalyptic themes. Lyrics meaning. The song speaks about personal breakdowns, societal collapse, and the chaos that ensues when things fall apart. It's a reflection on inner turmoil and the disconnect people often feel with themselves and the world around them. The lyrics hint at a kind of personal and collective blackout, where clarity and understanding are lost amidst emotional and societal turmoil. The song conveys a sense of urgency, conflict, and a desire to break free from these forces. Live performances. Blackout was performed during the 1000 Suns Tour 2010-2011, often as part of the experimental portion of their set. Lighting. The lighting for Blackout was dark, chaotic, and intense. The stage was filled with flashing lights, rapid strobe effects, and neon-colored hues such as electric green, purple, and blue. The lights often changed in sync with the song's breaks and aggressive beats, adding to the frenetic, explosive energy of the track. Stage and crowd. The stage design was often industrial and raw, with flickering lights and broken visuals projected on two large screens. The crowd's energy was high, with many fans moshing or moving energetically during the song's aggressive sections. The rapid shifts in lighting and the intensity of the performance matched the song's chaotic vibe. 80. She Couldn't. Album. Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical style. She Couldn't features a softer, melodic rock sound with acoustic guitars and emotional vocal delivery from Chester Bennington. It has a laid-back, reflective quality compared to other tracks on Minutes to Midnight, but it still carries an emotional intensity. Lyrics meaning. The song explores the pain of unrequited love or a broken relationship, focusing on the feelings of regret, longing, and helplessness. She couldn't speaks to the inability of the other person to reciprocate feelings, despite the deep emotional connection. It's a somber reflection on the futility of certain emotional investments and the difficult journey of letting go. Live performances, She Couldn't has never been performed live by Linkin Park. It remains one of the rarer songs from Minutes to Midnight and hasn't appeared in their setlists during tour. 79. Nobody Can Save Me, album, One More Light 2017. Musical style, Nobody Can Save Me has a bright, synth-driven pop sound with a catchy, danceable rhythm. It incorporates electronic elements and smooth, processed vocals. The song stands out for its upbeat feel, despite the emotional depth of the lyrics. Lyrics meaning, the song is about feeling alone and disconnected, even in the midst of a crowd. It touches on the theme of personal isolation and the sense that, no matter how many people may try to help, only the individual can truly confront and work through their struggles. It's a reflection on self-reliance and the difficulty of finding solace in others during times of emotional distress. Live performances, Nobody Can Save Me was performed during the One More Light Tour 2017. Lighting, the lighting for Nobody Can Save Me was bright and upbeat, often filled with vibrant neon colors, such as pink, blue, and purple, reflecting the song's more pop-oriented sound. The visuals included abstract geometric patterns and vibrant light pulses that mirrored the song's energetic, electronic beats. Stage and crowd, the stage was filled with large LED screens, showcasing shifting, glitchy visuals, creating a sense of motion and transformation. The crowd was upbeat and engaged, singing along and waving their phones in the air, matching the song's infectious rhythm and reflective, personal lyrics. 78. A One More Light, album, One More Light 2017. Musical style, this track is a soft, melancholic ballad with gentle electronic beats, piano, and subtle instrumentation. The song's arrangement is minimalistic, letting the emotional weight of the lyrics shine through. It's one of the most somber and reflective tracks from One More Light. Lyrics meaning, One More Light was written about the loss of a loved one and the grief that follows. It's a tribute to those who have passed and a meditation on the impact that every individual life has. The lyrics speak to the importance of remembering the people we've lost and acknowledging the emotional toll of losing someone. It became even more poignant after Chester Bennington's death, as it directly relates to themes of mourning and the emotional weight of loss. Live performances, One More Light was performed extensively during the One More Light Tour 2017. The song became even more emotional after Chester Bennington's passing. Lighting, the lighting for One More Light was soft and gentle, with warm, golden and amber lights filling the stage. Candle light effects or slow, glowing lights were often used to create a tribute-like atmosphere, giving the song a deeply emotional and somber tone. During the chorus, the lights would grow brighter and more hopeful, symbolizing the connection between the living and the lost. Stage and crowd, the stage was often filled with dimmed lights and pictures or videos of Chester and moments from the band's history. Fans were encouraged to hold up their phone lights or lighters during the song, creating a sea of lights that felt like a collective tribute. The crowd was visibly emotional, with many fans singing along, some in tears, reflecting the powerful connection between the song and Chester's untimely passing. 77. Roads Untraveled, album, Living Things 2012, performance, never performed live. Musical style, Roads Untraveled has a melancholic, orchestral rock vibe with soft electronic elements and an acoustic guitar-driven melody. It starts off slow and introspective before building to a more anthemic climax. The song is emotional, with layers of sound that create a reflective mood. Lyrics meaning, the song is about the paths we choose in life and the decisions we make along the way. Roads Untraveled speaks to the regret of not taking certain opportunities and the weight of wondering what might have been. It explores the complexities of choice and the fear of missed chances, but also offers a message of reconciliation, accepting that our journeys shape who we are. 76. A In Between, album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical style, In Between is a soft, introspective track with a blend of electronic elements and acoustic guitar. The song features a calm yet melancholy atmosphere, with layered vocals and a haunting piano melody that gives it an almost ethereal quality. The track is short, but emotionally impactful, with both Mike Shinoda's rapping and Chester Bennington singing. Lyrics meaning, the song deals with feelings of personal conflict and internal struggle. The lyrics express a sense of being stuck between two opposing forces, unable to fully commit to either side. It explores themes of confusion, emotional conflict, and the search for self-identity. Live performances. In Between was performed live during the Minutes to Midnight Tour 2007-2008, though it wasn't a staple in later set lists. Lighting. The lighting for this track was soft, with a lot of ambient blues and whites that reflected the introspective nature of the song. During the quiet, emotional moments, there were minimal, dim lights focused on Chester and Mike. Stage effects. The stage setup was fairly minimal, with some projections of abstract visuals or muted colors that didn't overpower the emotional weight of the song. The mood was somber and reflective. Crowd. The crowd typically remained quieter and more introspective during this track, many fans swaying gently or holding up their phones with dimmed lights, creating a respectful and reflective atmosphere. 75. Mark the Graves album, The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style. Mark the Graves is a hard, guitar-driven track with elements of alternative rock and nu metal. The song features strong riffs, heavy percussion, and aggressive vocals, blending the raw energy of early Linkin Park with the more mature sound of The Hunting Party. It's darker and more intense, with rapid changes in dynamics. Lyrics meaning. The song is about conflict, regret, and the long-lasting impact of past mistakes. Mark the Graves refers to the metaphorical graves people leave behind, marking both personal loss and the scars of mistakes that people carry. It touches on the idea of confronting one's past and the emotional consequences of actions. Live performances. Mark the Graves was part of the The Hunting Party Tour 2001-2015. Lighting The lighting for Mark the Graves was aggressive, with red, orange, and yellow lights that reflected the song's intensity. The lighting would often flicker in sync with the rapid, hard guitar riffs. Stage effects. The stage often featured strobe effects and flashing lights, adding to the chaotic nature of the track. At times, large LED screens would show visuals of destruction or chaos, matching the song's lyrical themes. Crowd. The crowd was energized and enthusiastic during this performance, headbanging and moshing during the heavier parts of the song. The intense stage presence and aggressive music sparked a lot of crowd interaction. 74. Until It's Gone album, The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style. Until It's Gone blends rock with some electronic and hip-hop elements. It's a mid-tempo track with a smooth build-up, heavy percussion, and a catchy, anthemic chorus. The song has a more radio-friendly vibe compared to some of Linkin Park's harder songs, but still maintains a strong sense of urgency. Lyrics meaning. The song talks about taking things for granted until they are lost. The lyrics discuss regret and self-reflection, focusing on how people often fail to appreciate what they have until it's no longer within reach. The song highlights the fleeting nature of time and the emotional consequences of neglect. Live performances. Until It's Gone was frequently played during the Hunting Party Tour 2001-2015. Lighting. The lighting was dramatic, with contrasting lights, reds, blues, and white hues to emphasize the intensity of the track. During the chorus, the lights were often bright and strobe heavy to match the anthem-like feel of the song. Stage effects, flashing visuals, and abstract imagery were often used on the screens behind the band to mirror the song's theme of loss and regret. The stage often had smoke effects, creating an atmosphere of reflection. Crowd. The crowd responded passionately to this track, with a lot of audience participation during the chorus. Fans sang along and raised their hands in unison, creating a sense of shared experience. 73. No Roads Left album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical style. No Roads Left is a darker, introspective track with atmospheric production and strong electronic elements. The song has a tense, haunting feel, with both Mike Shinoda's rapping and Chester Bennington's emotional vocals playing key roles. Lyrics meaning. The song touches on the themes of feeling lost and trapped in a situation where there are no easy ways out. It's about being stuck in a cycle of emotional turmoil, unable to move forward. The lyrics express feelings of hopelessness and the weight of one's actions. Live performances. No Roads Left was rarely performed live and has only made occasional appearances during the Minutes to Midnight Tour. Lighting. The lighting was often low and moody, with purples and blues. The atmosphere was intended to be somber and reflective, matching the song's lyrical content. Stage effects, minimal, abstract visuals were used on the backdrop screens, often showcasing images of desolate landscapes or dark, cloudy skies, reinforcing the song's feeling of emotional isolation. Crowd. Given its rarity, the crowd was more subdued during its performance, listening closely to the lyrics. The audience was typically reflective, with many people swaying or holding up lights. 72. Guilty All the Same, Album, The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style, Guilty All the Same is a fast-paced, aggressive track that blends thrash metal and rap rock elements. It features heavy guitar riffs, fast-paced drumming, and Mike Shinoda's rapid-fire rapping paired with Chester's soaring vocals. Lyrics meaning. The song is a critique of societal corruption and personal accountability. It deals with the feeling of guilt that comes from being part of a system that perpetuates wrongdoing, suggesting that everyone is complicit in some way. The phrase guilty all the same refers to the idea that we are all responsible for the collective state of the world. Live performances, Guilty All the Same was a major part of the Hunting Party tour. Lighting. The lighting for this track was intense and strobe-heavy, with reds and flashes of white emphasizing the song's anger and urgency. It was designed to mirror the song's fast pace and aggressive tone. Stage effects. The stage often included rapid lighting changes and large projections of images symbolizing societal breakdown and corruption. The band's intense energy was mirrored by the fast-moving visuals. Crowd. The crowd was highly energetic, with motion and jumping around during the heavy sections. Fans were very interactive, especially during the breakdowns and rap verses, where they would shout along with Mike. 71. Final Masquerade, Album, The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style. Final Masquerade is a melodic rock song with a more mainstream appeal. It combines atmospheric guitar riffs and smooth percussion, with Chester Bennington's emotional vocals taking center stage in the chorus. It's less aggressive than some of the other tracks from The Hunting Party, but still carries a lot of emotional weight. Lyrics meaning. The song is about deception and the facade people put on to hide their true feelings or intentions. Final Masquerade reflects the emotional cost of wearing a mask and pretending to be someone you're not. Live performances. Final Masquerade was performed frequently during the Hunting Party tour. Lighting. The lighting was often soft and moody, with dark blues and purples creating a haunting atmosphere during the verses. During the chorus, the lighting would brighten with warm reds and oranges, adding intensity to the emotional release of the song. Stage effects. Slow-moving background visuals complemented the somber mood of the track, with some abstract visuals of people in masks and deceptive imagery. Fog machines added a sense of mystery. Crowd. Fans were very engaged with the emotional delivery of the song, with many singing along to the powerful chorus. The crowd's energy was more reflective during this performance, as many fans held up lights during the poignant moments. 70. Not Alone, Album, 1,000 Suns 2010. Musical style. Not Alone features a more ambient, experimental sound, typical of 1,000 Suns. The track blends electronic beats with orchestral elements, creating a cinematic, spacious atmosphere. The song has a driving beat, but it's also emotional and introspective. Lyrics meaning. Not Alone explores themes of connection and solidarity. It's a message of hope, telling the listener that they are not alone in their struggles, and that support can be found even in the darkest times. Live performances. Not Alone was not frequently performed live, but when it was part of the 1,000 Suns tour. Lighting. The lighting was soft and reflective, using ambient lights and cool tones to create a calming atmosphere. Warm white lights were sometimes used to signify the hope and unity in the message. Stage effects. The stage often used projection visuals with themes of unity, community, and support. The band would sometimes perform in near darkness, with gentle spotlights illuminating individual members. Crowd. The crowd was generally quieter, reflecting on the message of the song. Many fans held up lights or swayed gently. 69. Robot Boy, Album, 1,000 Suns 2010. Musical style. Robot Boy is a slow, atmospheric track with a lot of electronic influence. It's layered with synths, with a haunting, robotic quality that mirrors the theme of technology and emotional detachment. Lyrics meaning. The song deals with themes of isolation, emotional numbness, and the dehumanization caused by technology and modern life. It expresses a desire to break free from the constraints that make people feel like robots. Live performances. Robot Boy was never performed live. 68 A Halfway Right album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. Halfway Right is a more stripped-down track, blending pop, electronic, and acoustic elements. It has a mellow, introspective feel with a focus on Chester Bennington's emotional vocals and a smooth electronic backdrop. Lyrics meaning. The song touches on feelings of self-doubt and emotional vulnerability, expressing uncertainty about choices made in life and relationships. Live performances. Halfway Right was rarely performed live, but it did appear occasionally during the One More Light tour. Lighting. The lighting for this track was gentle and soothing, with soft blues and purples creating a reflective mood. Stage effects. Minimal stage effects were used, with spotlights on Chester. The visuals were often subtle, emphasizing the emotional connection to the lyrics. Crowd. The crowd was relatively quiet and introspective during this song, often holding up lights and swaying along. 67. A Light That Never Comes album, Recharge 2013 remixed with Steve Aoki. Musical style. This track blends electronic beats, dubstep influences, and rock elements. It's upbeat and fast-paced, with heavy synths and a punchy bass line. Lyrics meaning. A light that never comes is about chasing after an ideal or goal that seems unreachable. The light represents hope or success, but the realization is that it may never actually be attained. Live performances. A Light That Never Comes was occasionally performed during the Recharged and One More Light tour. Lighting. The performance of this track was marked by pulsing lights and strobe effects in sync with the electronic beats. Bright neon colors, like green, yellow, and pink, added energy to the live show. Stage effects. The stage had rapid visual effects, using LED screens to create a sense of movement and energy. The visuals were often abstract and vibrant. Crowd. The crowd was energetic and excited during this track, with many fans dancing or jumping along with the electronic beats. 66 A Victimized album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. Victimized is a high-energy track that blends electronic elements with rock. It features a heavy bass line, fast-paced drumming, and a driving, industrial-sounding instrumental. The song is chaotic in its structure, with aggressive beats and distorted vocals from Chester Bennington. The track shifts between raw intensity and moments of controlled chaos. Lyrics meaning. Victimized deals with the feeling of being manipulated and the emotional toll of being trapped in a cycle of victimization. The lyrics talk about feeling oppressed and victimized by the world, with a strong desire to break free from this cycle. It's a critique of manipulation and the frustration that comes from being controlled. Live performances. Victimized was performed during the Living Things tour 2001-2013. Lighting. The lighting was often harsh, with strobe-like flashes and high-contrast lights to match the song's intense energy. There were heavy red and yellow lights to reflect the song's anger and frustration. Stage effects. The stage effects were fast-paced, matching the track's chaotic nature. Strobe lights and flashing screens were used to enhance the sense of disorientation and aggression. Crowd. The crowd went wild during Victimized, with a lot of moshing and headbanging. The intense energy of the song was mirrored by the crowd, who responded enthusiastically to the hard riffs and aggressive delivery. 65. Hands Held High album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical style. Hands Held High blends hip-hop beats with rock elements. It has a slower, more reflective pace than many of Linkin Park's other tracks, with a prominent focus on Mike Shinoda's rapping. The instrumental is atmospheric, with layered, almost orchestral sounds building to a powerful crescendo. Lyrics meaning. The song addresses themes of war, politics, and the struggle for peace. It critiques the destruction caused by conflict, with a strong message about the manipulation of the masses by powerful forces. The title, Hands Held High, refers to a stance of surrender or protest, symbolizing both defiance and submission. Live performances. Hands Held High was performed during the Minutes to Midnight and 1,000 Suns tour. Lighting. The lighting for this song was somber and reflective, often featuring blue and white lights. The stage had minimalist lighting to focus attention on the message of the song. Stage effects, visuals for this song were subtle, focusing on images of conflict, protest, and solidarity. The mood was serious, and the band's performance reflected the song's message. Crowd. The crowd was often very respectful during this song, with many fans standing still and listening intently. This was a more reflective moment in the setlist, and there was less crowd movement compared to more energetic tracks. 64. Resolution, Album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. Resolution is a short, fast-paced track that features electronic beats combined with rock instrumentation. The song has a high level of energy, with driving rhythms and a strong sense of urgency. It's aggressive and direct, showcasing the band's evolving sound on Living Things. Lyrics meaning. Resolution talks about determination, the desire for change, and the internal resolve to fight back against negativity or oppressive forces. It's about finding inner strength and committing to a course of action, even when the odds seem overwhelming. Live performances. Resolution was not performed frequently live, but was a part of some Living Things setlists. Lighting. The lighting was dynamic and energetic, with fast-moving lights that pulsed along with the beat. There were heavy strobe effects to highlight the song's aggressive tempo. Stage effects. The stage often used LED screens displaying fast-moving visuals or abstract patterns that matched the song's frenetic pace. Crowd. The crowd responded with enthusiasm, moshing and jumping to the fast beats of Resolution. It energized the audience, and the overall atmosphere was high energy and intense. 63. When They Come For Me, Album, 1000 Suns 2010. Musical style. When They Come For Me is a track that blends hip-hop, industrial, and electronic elements. It features a distorted, almost abrasive sound, with heavily processed vocals and a driving, rhythmic beat. The song has a lot of texture, with complex layering of sounds and a rhythmic flow from Mike Shinoda's rapping. Lyrics meaning. The song is about standing up for oneself against societal pressure and facing adversity. The lyrics deal with themes of defiance, self-empowerment, and the battle against forces that try to control or silence an individual. Live performances. When They Come For Me was a staple of the 1000 Suns tour and was also performed on some later tour. Lighting. The lighting for this song was sharp and angular, with bright neon colors, often green, blue, or yellow, that matched the song's aggressive energy. There was a lot of strobe lighting to sync with the rhythm. Stage effects. The visual effects were heavily synchronized with the beat, with flashing images and fast-moving visuals that highlighted the urgency of the song. The background screens often displayed abstract, chaotic patterns or urban landscapes. Crowd. The crowd was very energetic, with many fans jumping and headbanging during this track. The song's rhythm and defiant message really got the crowd moving. 62. A Burning in the Skies, Album, 1000 Suns 2010. Musical style. Burning in the Skies combines ambient and electronic elements with more traditional rock instrumentation. The song has a somber, almost cinematic feel, with sweeping soundscapes that build into powerful crescendos. It's atmospheric and reflective, with a slow burn leading to an emotional release. Lyrics meaning. The song is about self-reflection and dealing with internal conflict. It discusses feelings of regret, self-doubt, and the consequences of one's actions. Burning in the Skies refers to the emotional toll of facing the consequences of one's mistakes. Live performances. Burning in the Skies was a key track on the 1000 Suns tour. Lighting. The lighting was ethereal and sparse, with a lot of soft blues and whites creating a feeling of introspection. The lighting would often shift slowly in tandem with the song's emotional journey. Stage effects. The visuals were focused on abstract, almost dreamlike images of destruction, skies, and internal turmoil. There was minimal physical movement on stage, allowing the visuals to take center stage. Crowd. The crowd was quiet and reflective during this song, with many fans swaying or holding up lights to match the mood of the song. There was a sense of unity and shared experience. 61. I'll Be Gone, Album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. I'll Be Gone is a mid-tempo track that blends electronic beats with a more traditional rock structure. The song has a driving rhythm and emotional lyrics. With Chester Bennington's vocals taking center stage in the chorus, it's both melancholic and empowering. Lyrics meaning: the song speaks about leaving behind emotional baggage and the struggle to move forward in life. It's about seeking freedom from one's past and the uncertainty of what lies ahead. The lyrics reflect a sense of finality and the desire for closure. Live performances. I'll Be Gone was frequently performed on the Living Things tour. Lighting. The lighting was often soft, with a lot of blues and purples creating an introspective, emotional atmosphere. When the chorus hit, the lighting would brighten with warm whites to symbolize release. Stage effects. The stage effects were minimalistic, allowing the emotional power of the song and Chester's delivery to take the forefront. Occasionally, the background screens would show abstract landscapes or fading images. Crowd. The crowd was emotionally engaged, with many fans singing along to the powerful chorus. It was a more somber moment in the show, with fans holding up lights or swaying together. 60 Overflow album from Zero 2024. Musical style. Overflow begins with a droning sound, leading into a slow beat that Mike raps over. The drum beat is reminiscent of a slower version of Led Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks. Like other songs, there is a back-and-forth vocal delivery between Mike and Emily. It is one of the more experimental songs on the album. Lyric meaning: it is a chilling exploration of despair, loss of control, and the consequences of unchecked emotions. Through vivid imagery and raw emotion, the lyrics depict a world teetering on the brink of collapse, mirroring the speaker's internal turmoil. The song delves into the feeling of being overwhelmed by forces beyond one's control, succumbing to apathy, and contributing to the very chaos they fear. Overflow acts as a sonic representation of reaching a breaking point, where negativity and self-destruction culminate in an inevitable downfall. Live performance hasn't been performed live yet. 59. Sorry for Now album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. Sorry for Now is a pop-infused track with electronic elements, featuring smooth beats and a reflective, almost confessional tone. It's a much more personal and intimate song, with emotional undertones woven throughout. Lyrics meaning: Sorry for Now explores the concept of self-regret and the difficulty of facing personal mistakes in relationships. The lyrics suggest that the singer is apologizing for mistakes made, recognizing the emotional distance they've caused, yet remaining unable to fix things. Live performances. Sorry for Now was occasionally performed during the One More Light tour. Lighting. The lighting was gentle and soothing, with a focus on blue and purple hues to create an intimate atmosphere. There were also spotlights on the band members, emphasizing the personal nature of the song. Stage effects. The visuals were often subdued, with soft lighting and simple background imagery, reflecting the emotional content of the song. Crowd. The crowd responded emotionally, with fans singing along, holding up lights, and swaying together. It was a moment of connection between the band and the audience. 58 Oh By Myself album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical style. By Myself is a nu metal track with a heavy and aggressive sound. It combines rock instrumentation with rap verses in true Linkin Park style. The song is driven by gritty guitars and a powerful rhythm section, with both Mike Shinoda's rapping and Chester Bennington's vocals at the forefront. The track also features aggressive guitar riffs and a punchy beat that gives it an intense, emotional drive. Lyrics meaning: By Myself expresses feelings of isolation, self-doubt, and internal conflict. The lyrics reflect the emotional turmoil of someone struggling with their inner demons, dealing with feelings of loneliness, and being unable to escape their thoughts. It conveys a desire to break free from this emotional prison. Live performances. By Myself was a frequent part of early Linkin Park setlists, particularly during the Hybrid Theory and Meteora tour. Lighting. The lighting was often intense, with flashes of red, white, and yellow to highlight the aggression of the song. The lighting was fast-paced and dynamic, especially during the chorus and heavy instrumental sections. Stage effects. The stage effects for By Myself featured rapid strobe lights and visual distortions to match the chaotic energy of the song. The screens often displayed abstract, fragmented imagery that reflected the theme of isolation and self-conflict. Crowd. The crowd was typically highly energetic during this track, with fans moshing, jumping, and singing along. The aggressive tone of the song created a wild and raw atmosphere, fueling the crowd's enthusiasm. 57. A Nobody Listening album, Meteora 2003. Musical style, Nobody Listening blends rock with hip-hop, incorporating electronic elements into the mix. It's characterized by a laid-back, groove-heavy beat with a prominent bass line and a distinctive keyboard melody. The song has a chilled-out vibe, but its lyrics still reflect inner frustration and a sense of alienation. Lyrics meaning, Nobody Listening focuses on the feeling of being unheard and misunderstood. The song speaks to the frustration of trying to express oneself, but feeling like no one is paying attention. The lyrics reflect the emotional pain of isolation and the struggle to be understood in a world that doesn't seem to listen. Live performances, Nobody Listening was performed during the Meteora and Project Revolution tour. Lighting. The lighting for this track was often low-key, with softer tones like blue and purple to complement the laid-back, introspective mood. The lighting would become more vibrant during the chorus and more intense moments, but it was generally more subdued. Stage effects. The stage effects were often minimal for Nobody Listening, with visuals reflecting themes of isolation. The screens might display abstract, almost distant images, echoing the song's theme of emotional detachment. Crowd. The crowd tended to be more subdued during this track compared to others, reflecting the introspective nature of the song. Fans would sway along, and some would sing the lyrics quietly, adding to the feeling of being emotionally connected. 56. The Invisible album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. The track is an experimental departure from Linkin Park's earlier sound, focusing more on electronic pop, minimalism, and soft vocals. The song features an almost haunting atmosphere with atmospheric synths, soft bass, and a steady drum machine beat. Lyrical meaning. Invisible is about feeling unnoticed and detached. It conveys a sense of being overlooked or misunderstood, particularly in the context of personal relationships or mental struggles. Live performances. During live performances, the song's subdued and electronic nature contrasts with the band's typically high-energy shows. The lighting would often be soft, with ambient colors like blue and purple, emphasizing the melancholic tone. The crowd would be more reflective during this track, with a subdued but emotional atmosphere. 55. A Wastelands album, One More Light 2017. Musical style. A mixture of industrial rock and electronic elements, with heavy percussion and glitchy synths. The song has a gritty, dark edge, underpinned by Chester Bennington's raw vocals and Mike Shinoda's rap verses. Lyrical meaning. This song addresses themes of societal decay, disillusionment, and the aftermath of conflict. It critiques how people often find themselves in desolate situations, emotionally and politically, without the means to escape. Live performances, in concert. Wastelands was often paired with aggressive lighting effects, including strobes and flickering spotlights. The crowd would be hyped up, particularly with the hard-hitting beats and rebellious lyrics. The performance was intense, with the stage occasionally filled with visual effects simulating destruction or chaos, enhancing the song's post-apocalyptic theme. 54. All for Nothing album, Recharge 2013 remix album of Living Things. Musical style. Electronic rock, with glitchy beats, synthesized melodies, and heavy use of programmed sounds. It's a driving, rhythmic track that blends Linkin Park's signature electronic rock style with harder rock elements. Lyrical meaning. The song expresses feelings of futility, reflecting on the internal struggle of giving everything for a cause that seems meaningless in the end. It touches on themes of personal sacrifice, disillusionment, and loss. Live performances. On stage, the song would be accompanied by high-energy light shows, fast-moving projections, and an engaging interaction with the crowd. The audience would typically respond with enthusiasm, driven by the urgency of the beats and the emotional punch of the lyrics. 53. Across the Line album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. Combining electronic rock with dubstep and industrial influences, it features an aggressive bass line, glitchy synths, and a combination of rap verses and melodic choruses. The song has an electronic yet gritty feel. Lyrical meaning. Across the Line delves into themes of betrayal, crossing boundaries, and making mistakes that can never be undone. It speaks to the consequences of actions that push relationships and personal limits past the point of return. Live performances. This track would typically be accompanied by intense, fast-paced lighting, including strobes and sharp movements that complement the song's aggressive beat. The crowd would be energetic, especially during the build-up to the chorus, responding to the power of both the electronic elements and the lyrical content. 52. Cut the Bridge, album, from Zero 2024, musical style. Cut the Bridge by Linkin Park opens with a dynamic blend of glitchy electronics and rugged guitar riffs, setting the stage for an intense listening experience. The glitching effects create a sense of anticipation before the powerful power chord section crashes in, giving the song its gritty, raw energy. Mike Shinoda's rap performance seamlessly merges with the vibrant instrumentals, featuring string synths that add an extra layer of depth. This opening captures Linkin Park's signature sound, balancing rock intensity with electronic innovation, lyrical themes. Cut the Bridge is a sonic gut punch of betrayal, destruction, and that bittersweet moment when you finally sever the ties holding you back. The central metaphor of cutting the bridge symbolizes severing ties with someone who causes harm, highlighting themes of betrayal and sabotage. Live performance. This song has yet to be performed live. 51. A Rebellion, album, Recharge 2013 remix album of Living Things, musical style. A heavy electronic track with a driving beat, distorted guitar elements, and rap rock vocals from Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington. The song mixes industrial sounds with Linkin Park's signature electronic rock vibe. Lyrical meaning. Rebellion is about standing up against oppression, fighting against external forces that seek to control or suppress. It's an anthem for resistance, urging listeners to fight for their autonomy and identity. Live performances. On stage, Rebellion was typically accompanied by high-energy visuals, such as fire effects, heavy strobes, and a color scheme dominated by reds and blacks. The crowd would be fully engaged, shouting along with the rebellious anthem, especially during the breakdowns. 50. In My Remains, album, Living Things 2012. Musical style. A blend of electronic rock, dubstep, and alternative elements. The track features soaring synths, hard beats, and heavy percussion with Chester's powerful vocals carrying the emotional weight. Lyrical meaning. The song is about self-reflection and the internal struggle that follows the loss of identity. It speaks to the remnants of a person who's been through hardships and is slowly losing themselves in the process. Live performances. The song's emotional depth translates well in live performances, where lighting often reflects the somber and reflective nature of the track. The crowd might respond with a quieter, more introspective mood, singing along during the soaring choruses. 49. A With You, album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Lyrics meaning. The song portrays themes of inner conflict, longing, and the struggle to move on from a past mistake or failed relationship. The lyrics delve into the emotions and thoughts of the songwriter, expressing a sense of being disconnected and distant from someone they once had a deep connection with. In the opening verse, Mike Shinoda describes waking up to a world filled with cold static, symbolizing a sense of detachment and disconnection. He acknowledges the deceptive nature of pretending to be somewhere he is not, suggesting a longing for a place or state of mind he once had. The line "a little taste of hypocrisy" points to the songwriter recognizing their own faults and shortcomings in maintaining the relationship. The pre-chorus, sung by Chester Bennington, conveys the emotional impact of the person's presence even though they are not physically there. The promise and familiarity of their face and voice are etched into the songwriter's memories, causing a lingering longing and inability to let go. The chorus, delivered by both Bennington and Shinoda, reflects the internal struggle the songwriter faces in accepting the reality of their situation. Despite keeping a facade of strength and concealing their emotions, the absence of the person they deeply care about is still felt, even when their eyes are closed. In the second verse, Shinoda describes a tumultuous relationship in which both parties engage in a cycle of hitting each other, metaphorically or possibly even physically. This illustrates the emotional turmoil and clashes that have led to the present state of affairs. The line "untrapped in this memory" reflects the songwriter's inability to escape the past, being engulfed by regrets and slow to react to the implications of their mistakes. Throughout the song, there's a yearning for reconciliation and a desire to bridge the emotional distance felt between the narrator and the person they are addressing. The bridge, sung by Bennington, expresses a hopeful sentiment. looking forward to a better tomorrow despite the distance and hardships faced. Live performance. The first known live performance of With You was on August 5, 2048, Lost in the Echo album, Living Things 2012. Musical style, a fusion of electronic, dubstep, and rock elements. The song has a heavy, punchy beat with glitchy, distorted synths and guitar riffs. Chester's emotional vocal delivery complements Mike's rapping. Lyrical meaning. Lost in the Echo is about the feelings of being overwhelmed and stuck in cycles of self-doubt, reflecting on past mistakes that continue to haunt a person. It's a song about trying to break free from the echoes of one's own regrets. Live performances. The crowd's energy is palpable during this song, with many fans shouting the lyrics and reacting strongly to the chorus. The stage typically features intense strobe lighting, often synchronized with the beats, while large video screens show visuals related to self-reflection and struggle. 47. Over Each Other album, from 2024. Musical style. Over Each Other, featuring the captivating vocals of Emily Armstrong, takes a detour from their signature hard rock sound, offering a softer, more vulnerable exploration of a relationship in turmoil. This haunting ballad delves into the breakdown of communication, where words become weapons and silence screams louder than any shout. Armstrong's emotive delivery, interwoven with the song's atmospheric production, creates a mesmerizing and poignant tapestry of sound. Lyrical meaning. A poignant exploration of the breakdown in communication that can plague a relationship. It delves into the frustration, sadness, and longing that arise when two people struggle to truly connect, their words becoming weapons instead of bridges of understanding. Through evocative lyrics and a dynamic soundscape, the song paints a vivid picture of a relationship teetering on the brink of collapse, where the foundation is unstable and the air is thick with unspoken emotions. Live performance. First performed on November 3, 2024 in Paris, France, Emily played guitar on the song live. 46. A Hit the Floor album, Meteora 2003. Musical style. A hard-hitting, nu metal track with aggressive guitar riffs, fast drums, and a blend of rap and melodic vocals. It has a high-energy, confrontational tone, typical of Linkin Park's earlier work. Lyrical meaning. Hit the Floor speaks to intense frustration and aggression. It's about confronting one's anger, trying to break free from oppressive forces, and pushing back against manipulation or betrayal. Live performances. In concert, this song would be a crowd favorite, with high-energy lighting, including fast-moving strobe lights and heavy flashes. The audience would be hyped, with a significant amount of motion and head-banging, especially during the heavy breakdowns. 45. A Line in the Sand album, The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style. A high-energy, hard rock anthem with heavy guitars, fast-paced drums, and intense, aggressive vocals. The song embodies the band's return to a more traditional rock sound, with elements of punk, metal, and nu metal. Lyrical meaning. The song is about the boundaries people draw in life, whether they're personal, societal, or political. It conveys the theme of standing up for what you believe in, while also exploring the idea of having to choose sides in a world full of conflict and division. Live performances. On stage, A Line in the Sand was paired with intense, chaotic lighting, often involving rapid flashes of light, strobes, and aggressive color schemes like red and white. The crowd's energy would be extremely high, with fans moshing and head-banging. The band would feed off this energy, creating a dynamic, almost confrontational atmosphere. 44. War album, The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style. A fast-paced, aggressive song that mixes elements of punk rock and thrash metal. It features distorted guitar riffs, rapid drumming, and hard-hitting vocals. The intensity is matched by the urgency in the delivery, especially with Chester Bennington's raw vocals and Mike Shinoda's rapping. Lyrical meaning. The song explores themes of internal and external conflict. It's about dealing with personal battles and the toll that fighting takes on the individual, as well as societal wars and the pain that comes with them. It asks whether it's worth continuing to fight or whether it's better to surrender. Live performances. With its high tempo and urgency, live performances of War were accompanied by fast, strobe-heavy lighting and often included military imagery or stark visuals of conflict. The crowd would get hyped and energetic, with fans moshing and shouting the lyrics, especially during the explosive choruses. 43. Easier to Run. Album, Meteora 2003. Musical style, a mixture of nu metal, alternative rock, and electronic elements. The song features a moody atmosphere with atmospheric synths, subtle piano lines, heavy drums, and raw, emotional vocals. It has a slow build before kicking into a more powerful, distorted section. Lyrical meaning. Easier to Run is about emotional avoidance and the internal struggle of facing one's problems. The narrator expresses how tempting it is to run away from pain, but ultimately, that avoidance only makes things worse. It reflects the complexity of dealing with trauma and self-doubt. Live performances. On stage, the song often featured dim lighting with hues of blue or purple to enhance its introspective, somber mood. The crowd would be more subdued, with fans reflecting on the emotional weight of the song. Some performances included a more intimate atmosphere, with the crowd swaying and singing along quietly. 42. Castle of Glass. Album, Living Things 2012. Musical style, a blend of electronic rock and ambient, atmospheric elements. The song features electronic beats, atmospheric synths, and a driving rhythm. The vocals are more melodic and ethereal compared to the band's typical aggressive style, with Chester's voice soaring above the instrumentation. Lyrical meaning. The song is about the fragility of life and the feeling of being broken or incomplete. The metaphor of Castle of Glass suggests that things can be fragile, delicate, and ultimately fall apart, but there's still a longing for meaning and purpose in the chaos. Live performances. During live performances, the lighting would often be soft, with projections that mimic the song's introspective nature. Colors like soft blues, whites, and purples were common. The crowd would typically be more reflective, with fans swaying to the song's emotional flow and often singing along to the chorus. 41. Stained. Album, From Zero 2024. Musical style. Stained begins with a haunting, atmospheric intro, featuring Emily Armstrong's vocals building in intensity. This sets the stage for an explosive chorus driven by a powerful guitar riff that is sure to get your head banging. The dynamics between the verses and the chorus create a captivating sonic journey, pulling the listener through the emotional landscape of the song. Lyrical meaning. It is an exploration of the indelible marks left by betrayal and the struggle to reconcile with the lasting consequences of such actions. It dives deep into the emotional turmoil experienced by those who have been wronged, capturing the rawness of their pain and the difficulty of forgiving when trust has been shattered. Through evocative lyrics and powerful vocals, the song confronts the perpetrator with the undeniable truth of their wrongdoing, emphasizing that their attempts to hide or erase their actions are futile. Ultimately, Stained serves as a potent reminder that our choices have a lasting impact, and true redemption requires acknowledging the harm caused and taking responsibility for one's actions. Live performance. It hasn't been performed live as of yet. 40. More the Victim. Album, A Thousand Suns 2010. Musical style, a blend of electronic and experimental rock, with heavy use of samples, synthesizers, and atmospheric effects. The song has a driving, intense rhythm and builds with layers of sound, from quieter, almost whispered verses to larger, explosive moments. Lyrical meaning. The song is about the dynamic of victimhood and the internal conflict between accepting responsibility and remaining stuck in a cycle of self-pity. It's about self-awareness and realizing that one can often be complicit in their own suffering. Live performances. On stage, More the Victim would be accompanied by vivid lighting and digital effects that match the experimental nature of the track. The crowd would be engaged, with fans moving to the beat, especially when the song's intensity peaks. The visuals might include abstract imagery, focusing on themes of self-reflection and inner conflict. 39. A Healing Foot. Album, Meteora 20th Anniversary 2023. Musical style, nu metal, and alternative rock. Lyrical meaning. It is a song about acknowledging mistakes and taking responsibility for them, as well as learning to move forward and heal. The lyrics express a sense of regret and guilt over past actions that have led to a messy and uncomfortable situation. The narrator seems to be struggling with their own emotions and inability to view the situation objectively, but they're also frustrated with the other person's lack of understanding. The chorus. It's safe to say, I've always felt this way, holding back my words again for fear they're uninvited. Now it's safe to say, suggests that the narrator has been keeping their true feelings hidden, but they're finally ready to express themselves and confront the situation at hand. They're tired of letting fear dictate their actions and are taking steps towards healing and moving forward. The bridge, "No more regrets, no boundaries left, no asking how, no stopping now," highlights the idea of taking ownership of one's mistakes and not dwelling on regrets. The narrator is determined to break down the barriers that have been holding them back and to take action towards a better future. Live performance hasn't been played live as of yet. 38. Fighting Myself. Album. Meteora 20th Anniversary. Lyrical meaning. It explores the theme of inner conflict and the struggle to deal with negative thoughts and emotions. The lyrics reflect the narrator's inner turmoil and his struggle to keep his emotions in check. He feels overwhelmed by negative thoughts and doubts, but tries to suppress them and keep them hidden from others. The chorus emphasizes the narrator's sense of failure and helplessness as he is unable to overcome his negative feelings and tendencies. He feels like he is constantly battling himself and always ends up losing. Verse 2 shows that the narrator is aware of how his emotional struggles affect those around him, and he doesn't want to drag them down with him. He recognizes that his emotions are uncontrollable and fears that they will ruin everything he cares about. The bridge highlights the extent of the narrator's inner conflict, as he is weighed down by his past, anger, and regret. Ultimately, the song is an honest portrayal of the difficult and complex process of dealing with negative emotions and mental health struggles. The lyrics evoke a sense of vulnerability and rawness that many people can relate to, making it a powerful and meaningful song for those who are also struggling with their emotions. Live performance hasn't been performed live as of yet. 37. Keys to the Kingdom. Album. The Hunting Party 2014. Musical style. A fast-paced, aggressive track that blends elements of punk, metal, and rock. The song has heavy guitar riffs, rapid drumming, and a driving rhythm that creates a sense of urgency and chaos. Lyrical meaning. Keys to the Kingdom is about challenging authority and questioning power structures. It deals with themes of control, rebellion, and the desire to take control of one's fate. It speaks to the idea of breaking free from the chains of oppression. Live performances. First live performance was on the From Zero tour in 2024. 36. I Gave You Everything I Had. Album. From Zero 2024. Lyrical meaning. It is about the pain of being in a toxic relationship and the struggle to regain one's sense of self. The song's lyrics and Emily Armstrong's vocals explore themes of betrayal, emotional exhaustion, and the cycle of dishonesty and cruelty that can trap someone in a toxic relationship. The song ultimately serves as a declaration of breaking free from this cycle and embracing self-empowerment. 35. Good Things Go. Album. From Zero 2024. Musical style. Good Things Go, the closing track from Zero, presents a poignant end to a body of work that mixes emotional weight with intense musical delivery. The song starts in a slow, meditative fashion, building a soundscape of chorus-laden guitars that gently carry Mike Shinoda's reflective voice. As Emily Armstrong echoes Shinoda's lines, their interplay sets an introspective tone that lingers throughout the track. The song transitions from this pensive atmosphere into a grunge-tinged instrumental backdrop, where both artists trade off their vocal parts in a delicate balance between vulnerability and strength. Lyrical meaning. The song wrestles with themes of regret and the inescapable reality of losing the best parts of life. The opening verse, with its imagery of enduring internal rainstorms and seeking new perspectives in a mirror, sets a tone of weariness and emotional exhaustion. Mike Shinoda's rap, delivered over a grunge-flavored instrumental, dives deeper into self-reflection, touching on issues of pride, forgiveness, and unresolved emotional conflict. These themes resonate strongly throughout the song, illustrating the pain of pushing people away, even when they're most needed. Live performance, not performed live as of yet. 34. QWERTY. Album. Originally recorded for Minutes to Midnight demo, unreleased officially, but released on LP Underground 6.0 in 2006. Musical description. QWERTY has a rougher, more aggressive edge compared to the polished tracks on Minutes to Midnight. It features heavy guitar riffs, rapid drumming, and a driving rhythm that conveys urgency and frustration. Mike Shinoda's vocals alternate between rapping and singing, with Chester Bennington's powerful vocal delivery complementing the intensity. Lyrics meaning. The song critiques the frustrations of the digital age, focusing on the dehumanizing aspects of technology and the disconnection it creates. The title QWERTY refers to the keyboard, symbolizing how we increasingly interact with the world through machines. Live performance. QWERTY was performed in various live sets, often with explosive energy. The lighting typically included fast-moving strobe lights, harsh contrasts of red and blue, and visual projections that reflected digital motifs or glitches. The crowd responded with high energy, reflecting the aggressive tone of the track. Linkin Park's live performances of this song were typically filled with chaotic stage effects, enhancing its message about the chaos of the modern world. 33. Burn It Down. Album, Living Things 2012. Musical description. This song blends electronic elements with rock in a seamless way, featuring catchy synthesizer hooks and a smooth, pulsing beat. It's built around a rhythmic groove that creates a sense of momentum, with a catchy chorus that's both melodic and anthemic. The song gradually intensifies, building to a powerful release in the chorus. Lyrics meaning. Burn It Down reflects feelings of disillusionment and frustration with the way things are. It's about breaking down the old to rebuild anew, suggesting a need for radical change. The idea of burning it down metaphorically represents destroying the things that no longer work. Live performance. The live versions of Burn It Down were often accompanied by high-energy performances with vibrant stage lighting, including fiery reds and oranges, matching the song's aggressive tone. The crowd's energy would typically peak during the chorus, where the lighting intensified and the stage would be ablaze with visuals of fire, destruction, and urban landscapes. 32. Giving Up. Album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical description. Giving Up is an emotionally raw track, combining harsh, industrial beats with moments of intense guitar distortion. The song's pacing is slower and more deliberate, with a sense of despair that builds as the song progresses. The combination of electronic elements and rock gives the track a haunting, gritty vibe. Perhaps it is most famous for a 17-second scream. Lyrics meaning. The lyrics explore themes of emotional exhaustion, the feeling of being at a breaking point, and the struggle of trying to hold on when everything seems to be falling apart. It reflects the inner turmoil of feeling defeated by life's challenges. Live performance. The live performances of Giving Up were often deeply emotional, with Chester Bennington pouring his heart into the vocal delivery. The lighting was typically darker, with moody blues and purples to match the somber tone. There were often minimalist stage effects, focusing on creating an intimate atmosphere, especially for this song's emotional depth. The crowd often stood in quiet reflection, especially during the more subdued moments. 31. A Friendly Fire. Album, originally recorded for One More Light, but released on Papercut's Singles Collection 2000 to 2023. Lyrical meaning. It delves into the theme of internal conflict within relationships and the destructive nature of misunderstandings and miscommunication. The song seems to portray a sense of regret and realization of the damage caused by acting upon emotions without fully understanding the consequences. Key lyrics and meanings. Tell me the words I've forgotten, what we were fighting for, staring right into the darkness. Through an empty open door. These lines suggest a sense of confusion and lost connection, with the speaker reflecting on past arguments and trying to grasp the reasons behind the conflict. We're pulling apart for no reason. We're pulling a trigger in a useless war. These lines highlight the senseless nature of the conflict, symbolized by pulling a trigger in a useless war, indicating the self-destructive nature of their actions. I was supposed to protect you, no matter what's to come. Somehow forgot when they told me. We hurt the ones we love. These lines express a realization of failing to protect and nurture a relationship, juxtaposed with the understanding that causing hurt to loved ones is often unintentional, but impactful. It's just friendly fire. This repeated post-chorus line suggests that the harm inflicted on each other was not intentional malice, but rather a result of unintentional actions or words, akin to friendly fire in a battle. Live performance, first performed live on September 11, 2024 in LA, California, on the From Zero tour. 30. A Place for My Head. Album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description. This song is a blend of nu metal and alternative rock, featuring powerful guitar riffs and a heavy rhythm section. The verses alternate between Mike Shinoda's rapping and Chester Bennington's soaring vocals, creating a dynamic flow that mirrors the song's emotional tension. Lyrics meaning: the song conveys feelings of alienation, frustration, and the struggle to find a sense of self-worth. It discusses inner turmoil and the need to escape from overwhelming thoughts, with the place for my head being a metaphor for finding peace or relief. Live performance: the live performances of this track were marked by intense energy, with Chester's vocals cutting through the noise with raw emotion. The lighting typically featured heavy use of blue and red tones, creating a sense of intensity and emotional conflict. The crowd was always very engaged, shouting the lyrics back during the song's powerful chorus. 29 Out Casualty, album, from 2024. Musical style: the song's dynamic structure expertly balances moments of unrestrained aggression with carefully placed reprieves. Armstrong's pre-chorus bridge, a chillingly delivered "It's Only a Matter of Time," acts as a tense calm before the storm, allowing the band to pull back momentarily before plunging back into the sonic chaos. This push and pull creates a captivating sense of anticipation and release, making each eruption of energy that much more impactful. The classic Linkin Park sound is further enhanced by well-executed instrumentation and the addition of scratch effects, providing a satisfying textural depth. Lyrical meaning: it explores themes of defiance and liberation. The repeated refrain, "I won't be your casualty," embodies a refusal to be controlled or victimized. The verses depict a sense of being underestimated and betrayed, but also a simmering anticipation of retaliation. Lines like "I got too complacent," "bleached in the eyes," and "you drew the first blood," like playing God, paint a vivid picture of a power struggle, with the protagonist determined to break free from the oppressive forces holding them down. This lyrical depth adds a layer of meaning to the song's aggressive sound, making it more than just a sonic assault. Live performance: Casualty was first performed live on November 8, 2024 in Dallas, Texas. 28. My December, album, Hybrid Theory. Musical description: a stripped-down ballad, My December contrasts the heavy elements of Hybrid Theory with a more somber piano-driven arrangement. The atmosphere is melancholy and introspective, with Chester's voice taking center stage, delivering the lyrics with emotional rawness. Lyrics meaning: the song reflects on feelings of loss and longing, particularly during a cold, difficult period of life. It's about feeling disconnected and yearning for something to hold on to in the face of overwhelming emotions. Live performance: the live versions of this track would often be a quiet moment in the set. The stage lighting would be soft, typically dimmed with subtle white lights highlighting Chester. Fans often stood in quiet reverence, taking in the emotional weight of the song. 27. Don't Stay, album, Meteora 2003. Musical description: Don't Stay is an aggressive track with distorted guitars, hard-hitting drums, and a driving beat that creates an intense atmosphere. The song moves quickly, with alternating moments of Chester's screaming vocals and Mike's rapped verses. Lyrics meaning: the song's lyrics deal with the pain of a relationship breaking down and the desire for the other person to leave rather than stay and prolong the emotional suffering. It's a declaration of frustration and emotional distance. Live performance: the live performances of Don't Stay were high energy and explosive, with heavy guitar riffs and intense crowd participation. The stage would often be filled with dramatic lighting, especially red and orange tones, to convey the raw emotion of the song. The crowd would respond with passionate energy, particularly during the chorus, where they would sing along with Chester's powerful vocals. 26. Figure, album, Meteora 2003. Musical style: nu metal and alternative rock. Lyric meaning: a song that is about accepting personal responsibility for the choices we make in life. The lyrics speak of an individual reflecting on the hurt that they have caused themselves and those around them, and how they are unable to escape their own thoughts and be free. The chorus emphasizes how the person has allowed their own mistakes to become a part of them and speaks of the difficulty of separating oneself from what they have done. The song offers a reminder that we cannot escape the past and must accept and learn from our mistakes in order to move forward. Live performance: first performed live in 2003. 25. Forgotten, album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description: Forgotten is a hard-hitting track that blends the raw energy of nu metal with electronic and industrial elements. It features heavy guitar riffs, aggressive drumming, and an eerie electronic backdrop, with the verses alternating between Mike Shinoda's rapped vocals and Chester Bennington's powerful singing. The song has a dynamic arrangement that moves between intense, fast-paced sections and slower, more atmospheric breakdowns. Lyrics meaning: the song is about feelings of abandonment, frustration, and isolation. The lyrics reflect a sense of being ignored or forgotten, possibly by the people around you or even by society itself. The recurring theme is the struggle to be seen and heard in a world that seems indifferent. Live performance: during live performances, Forgotten was known for its intensity. The lighting often featured strobe effects, sharp flashes of red and blue, and occasional white spotlighting on Chester during his vocal delivery. The crowd would get intensely involved, especially during the parts where the rhythm intensifies, with fans jumping and shouting the lyrics. 24. No More Sorrow, album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical description: No More Sorrow features a hard-rocking, riff-heavy sound with aggressive drumming and a driving guitar rhythm. The song has a strong, militaristic feel to it, amplified by the pounding drums and intense guitar solos. It's a heavier track, reminiscent of some of the more politically charged music from the late 2000s. Lyrics meaning: the song is about defiance and standing up against oppression. It's a declaration of no longer accepting the pain and suffering caused by unjust systems, with a focus on rejecting authority and pushing back against control. The lyrics suggest a sense of empowerment, rallying against the things that hold people back. Live performance: in live performances, No More Sorrow was often accompanied by intense lighting with flashes of red and orange to match the song's aggressive energy. The crowd would respond with enthusiasm, moshing and jumping to the beat, especially during the heavy guitar riff sections. The stage effects included rapid strobe lights, and the screens often showed images of conflict or destruction, enhancing the song's rebellious themes. 23. From the Inside, album, Meteora 2003. Musical description: From the Inside blends powerful guitar riffs with electronic elements, featuring fast-paced percussion and dynamic shifts in intensity. The song begins with a slow, haunting intro before transitioning into an aggressive verse and explosive chorus. Chester Bennington's vocals are raw and emotional, capturing the sense of pain and urgency. Lyrics meaning: the song deals with internal emotional struggles, focusing on the conflict between personal pain and the pressure to remain composed in difficult situations. It's about feeling trapped inside oneself and dealing with the weight of these emotions. Live performance: during live performances, From the Inside would be one of the highlights, with Chester often delivering the song with raw, emotional energy. The lighting was typically intense and dark, with flashing red and white lights to reflect the urgency of the song's themes. The crowd was fully engaged, often singing along during the more anthemic moments, especially during the chorus. 22. The Emptiness Machine, album, From Zero 2024. Musical style: The Emptiness Machine marks a significant moment in Linkin Park's history. Their first release since the passing of Chester Bennington and the debut of their new vocalist, Emily Armstrong. The song opens with a somber, melancholic atmosphere, Mike Shinoda's vocals setting the stage for a powerful emotional journey. The entrance of the classic chugging guitar riff signals a familiar Linkin Park sound, building anticipation for Armstrong's debut. And when she arrives, she doesn't disappoint. Armstrong's voice seamlessly blends with the band's signature sound, her powerful vocals soaring over the heavy guitars and driving rhythm section. The song's dynamic structure allows her to showcase her range, transitioning from emotive verses to soaring choruses and culminating in a raw and impassioned scream that echoes the band's earlier work. Lyrics meaning: the lyrics delve into themes of vulnerability, self-sacrifice, and the pursuit of acceptance. Lines like "Let you cut me open just to watch me bleed," "Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be" speak to the sacrifices we sometimes make in relationships, losing ourselves in the process. The repetition of the emptiness machine serves as a haunting metaphor for the hollow promises and unfulfilled expectations that can leave us feeling empty and disillusioned. Live performance, first performed live on the From Zero live stream on September 5, 2024. 21. A New Divide, album, Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen soundtrack 2009. Musical description: New Divide is one of Linkin Park's most recognizable tracks, featuring a combination of electronic synths, aggressive guitar riffs, and strong percussion. The song has a cinematic feel with dramatic intensity that complements its association with the Transformers movie. It builds steadily from the haunting intro to a massive, anthemic chorus. Lyrics meaning: the song explores themes of emotional distance, particularly the gap that forms between two people due to past trauma or hurt. The divide in the title refers to the emotional chasm that can exist in relationships when communication breaks down. Live performance: New Divide was a major hit in live performances, often accompanied by stunning visuals of the Transformers franchise, such as fast-moving robot images or cityscape destruction. The lighting would be bright and dynamic, with heavy use of LED screens to display the dramatic visuals, and the crowd would respond with enthusiasm, jumping and singing along during the chorus. 20. The Catalyst album, 1000 Suns 2010. Musical description: the Catalyst combines electronic and rock elements with a pulsing synth beat, heavy percussion, and an almost anthem-like feel. It starts with a climactic build-up before exploding into an energetic chorus. The song uses a combination of distortion and glitchy electronic sounds to create a sense of urgency and chaos, reflecting the song's lyrical themes. Lyrics meaning: the song is about change and the power of transformation. It deals with the tension between destruction and renewal, with the catalyst symbolizing an event or force that sparks a massive shift. The song reflects both personal and societal upheaval. Live performance: the Catalyst was a highlight of Linkin Park's 1000 Suns tour, with vibrant, high-energy performances. The stage effects often included massive screens with abstract visuals or apocalyptic imagery, accompanied by bright lighting that transitioned from blue to orange, creating a sense of both chaos and hope. The crowd's energy was electric, with fans enthusiastically singing along to the chorus. 19. Lost album, Meteora 20th Anniversary 2023. Lyrics meaning: Shinoda tells Odyssey, "If I remember right, the inspiration for it was looking back on things that are memories that you get just sucked into. And you get immersed in that nostalgia, or good feeling, or bad feeling." He adds, "In the case of this song, I think there was a bunch of not so good stuff, but it's bittersweet. It's a mixed bag because there's good stuff in there, too. Things aren't black or white or cut and dry." That's what I like about the lyrics of the song. Live performance, first performed live on September 5, 2024, 18 Points of Authority. Album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description: Points of Authority is a high-energy, nu metal track with aggressive beats, scratching effects, and sharp guitar riffs. The song alternates between rap verses from Mike Shinoda and screaming choruses from Chester Bennington, creating a dynamic contrast. The rhythm is fast-paced and intense, with electronic elements interwoven with the heavy guitar sections. Lyrics meaning: the song addresses issues of authority, manipulation, and control. The lyrics talk about being trapped under the influence of people or systems that use their power to dominate or suppress others. Live performance, Points of Authority is one of Linkin Park's live staples, often performed with high energy. The lighting for this track would be intense, with flashing red and yellow lights, accompanied by heavy bass and industrial effects. The crowd would be highly engaged, moshing and singing along with the track's fast pace. 17. Pushing Me Away album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description: Pushing Me Away is a fast-paced track with raw emotional intensity. The song features heavy guitar riffs, electronic beats, and an intense build-up to the final explosive chorus. The verses alternate between Mike Shinoda's rapped vocals and Chester Bennington's anguished singing, creating a contrast of aggression and vulnerability. Lyrics meaning: the song is about the pain of being emotionally distanced from someone or something, especially when there's a feeling of being rejected or pushed away. The lyrics explore the frustration of trying to maintain a connection while feeling abandoned. Live performance, Live, Pushing Me Away is an intense song, with Linkin Park often using fast-paced, strobe-style lighting and dramatic visual projections. The crowd would typically get involved in the performance, creating a raw, energetic vibe during the song's climactic moments. 16. A Paper Cut album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description: Paper Cut is a fast-paced, aggressive song with a mix of electronic beats, heavy guitars, and distorted effects. The song is one of the more experimental on Hybrid Theory featuring rapid-fire vocals from Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington, both delivering the lyrics with urgency and intensity. Lyrics meaning: Paper Cut delves into themes of paranoia, internal conflict, and mental anguish. It reflects the feeling of being overwhelmed by your own thoughts, struggling with anxiety, and feeling out of control. Live performance: the song is a fan favorite and is often performed with explosive energy, accompanied by flashing lights, strobe effects, and dramatic visuals that enhance its intense, frantic vibe. The crowd reacts with high enthusiasm, jumping and singing along during the chaotic sections of the song. 15. A Heavy Is the Crown album from Zero 2024. Musical style: it showcases a band rediscovering their footing. The synth-heavy production, paired with the band's signature, impactful drumming, lays a familiar foundation for Mike Shinoda's rapping, which evokes a sense of classic Linkin Park. Emily Armstrong's vocals add a fresh dimension, seamlessly blending with the band's sound and delivering powerful screams when the moment calls for it. The song's strength lies in the interplay between Mike's verses and Emily's choruses. Their contrasting styles create a dynamic push and pull that keeps the energy high. The second half of the song leans into a heavier sound, and its anthemic repetition delivers an undeniable sense of catharsis. Lyrics meaning: the lyrics delve into themes of conflict and consequence, with vivid imagery of battles and their aftermath. Lines like "Trina catch fire, but feelin' so cold" capture the internal struggle of the song's protagonist, while the repeated chorus of "Heavy is the Crown" serves as a reminder of the burdens they carry. Live performance: the song was first performed on September 22, 2024 in Germany. 14. To Faced album from Zero 2024. Musical style: it is a potent blast of nostalgia that throws listeners back to the band's nu metal heyday. The track opens with a classic, gritty sound reminiscent of their early 2000s work, quickly building into a frenetic explosion of energy. Mike Shinoda's rap verse hits hard, with its signature rhythmic flow and cutting lyrics, seamlessly blending with Armstrong's powerful vocals, which perfectly capture the raw emotionality characteristic of Linkin Park's iconic sound. The instrumental work on Two Faced is top-notch, with driving guitars, thunderous drums, and dynamic shifts that keep the energy high. The chorus is undeniably catchy, featuring Armstrong's soaring vocals and a memorable melody that will easily get stuck in your head. Around the 2-minute mark, the song takes a breather, allowing Armstrong to showcase a softer side with a haunting, whispered vocal passage before launching back into another explosive breakdown. This dynamic contrast adds depth and intrigue to the track. Lyric meaning: lyrically, Two Faced delves into the complexities of betrayal and deceit, with Shinoda and Armstrong trading verses about a two-faced individual who has caused them pain. The lyrics are raw, honest, and relatable, capturing the frustration and anger that comes with being deceived by someone you trusted. Armstrong's powerful vocals bring these emotions to life, conveying both vulnerability and rage with equal intensity. Live performance: the first live performance of Two Faced was on November 15, 2024. 13. Leave Out All the Rest album, Minutes to Midnight, 2007. Musical description: this song is slower and more atmospheric than typical Linkin Park tracks, featuring piano, soft percussion, and layered, echoing vocals. It's an emotionally heavy ballad with a focus on Chester Bennington's heartfelt delivery. Lyrics meaning: the song reflects the fear of being forgotten or misunderstood, and the desire to be remembered for the good parts of one's life despite mistakes. It speaks to themes of self-reflection, mortality, and the desire for redemption. Live performance, when performed live. Leave Out All the Rest was often accompanied by a gentle piano intro and a slow build-up of the band's instruments. The lighting was usually soft and warm, with the crowd often singing along during the emotional chorus. It was one of those moments in a Linkin Park show where the audience could feel the collective emotion, with fans often holding up their phone lights to create a moving, almost ethereal effect. 12. What I've Done album, Minutes to Midnight, 2007. Musical description: a powerful rock anthem with a strong drum beat and energetic guitar riffs. This song combines Linkin Park's nu metal roots with a more polished, mainstream rock sound. It features both clean and screamed vocals, building intensity throughout the track. Lyrics meaning: the song is about facing mistakes and asking for redemption. It touches on the internal conflict of taking responsibility for one's actions and seeking to make things right. Live performance. During live shows, What I've Done became a moment of intense energy. The audience would go wild, with bright, fast-moving stage lights and a massive sound. The band would often interact with the crowd, urging them to sing along. The visual elements included images of change, personal responsibility, and environmental concerns. 11 Waiting for the End. Album, 1000 Suns 2010. Musical description. The song is a blend of electronic beats, rock guitar, and atmospheric soundscapes. It has a haunting, cinematic quality with elements of dubstep and industrial rock, and features both Mike Shinoda's rap verses and Chester's soaring vocals. Lyrics meaning. Waiting for the End is about the moment when everything feels like it's collapsing, but also about hope and the possibility of new beginnings after destruction. It captures the feeling of helplessness during times of change and turmoil. Live performance. The live version often included mesmerizing visuals, like apocalyptic images and abstract digital art. The song's build-up was punctuated by intense lights and heavy strobe effects. Creating a sense of urgency and power, fans would wave their hands in sync, chanting along to the chorus as the song reached its peak. 10 Breaking the Habit. Album, Meteora 2003. Musical description. Featuring a haunting piano intro and electronic beats. This song contrasts with the band's heavier tracks. It's one of their most introspective songs, building slowly to a climax with heavy drumming and emotional guitar riffs. Lyrics meaning. The song is about breaking free from destructive patterns or addictions. It explores themes of self-doubt, regret, and the overwhelming need to change one's life. Live performance. Breaking the Habit was known for its emotional performances. The lighting was dim and atmospheric, often focusing on Chester's raw, powerful delivery. The crowd would often join in with the chorus, making it a collective moment of catharsis. The visuals often featured abstract images or animations, reflecting the inner turmoil conveyed in the lyrics. 9 Runaway. Album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description. With its distinctive electronic intro and fast-paced guitar riffs, Runaway is a high-energy track. The song blends rap-rock vocals with a catchy chorus and driving beats, representing the early Linkin Park sound. Lyrics meaning. Runaway is about feeling trapped and wanting to escape from overwhelming emotions or circumstances. It captures the frustration and the need to get away from one's problems. Live performance. The live version would have been loud and energetic, with the crowd moshing and head-banging throughout. The lighting was typically dynamic, with sharp flashes and rapid transitions. During the rap parts, Mike Shinoda would engage with the crowd, getting them hyped up. 8 Bleed It Out. Album, Minutes to Midnight 2007. Musical description. One of the band's most energetic and fast-paced songs, Bleed It Out has a heavy drum beat, sharp guitar riffs, and an aggressive, almost punk-like energy. It features a call-and-response style with Mike Shinoda's rap verses and Chester's shouted chorus. Lyrics meaning. This song is about emotional release and frustration. It's about letting everything out, even if it means breaking down or feeling like you're losing control. Live performance. Bleed It Out was one of the most high-energy songs in the live set, with Chester and Mike interacting with the audience. The lighting was fast and intense, with rapid strobe effects during the most energetic parts. The crowd would get wild, jumping, and chanting the lyrics back to the band. 7 Crawling. Album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description. A slower, more atmospheric song that combines delicate piano lines with heavy, distorted guitars. The song builds in intensity, with Chester's emotional vocals taking center stage. Lyrics meaning. Crawling deals with feelings of insecurity, self-doubt, and the struggle for self-acceptance. The lyrics explore the difficulty of dealing with internal pain and not feeling good enough. Live performance. Live performances of this song often saw Chester pouring his heart into every word, and the lighting would usually be dim, with focus on the band members. The crowd's emotional connection to the song was palpable, with many fans singing along in solidarity. 6 One Step Closer. Album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description. A raw, aggressive track with distorted guitars, a pounding rhythm section, and Mike's rapid-fire rapping. The song is relentless in its intensity, with a catchy yet explosive chorus. Lyrics meaning, this song expresses frustration and the feeling of being pushed to the edge, emphasizing the idea of taking one more step toward breaking down. Live performance, one of the most high-energy moments in Linkin Park shows. One step closer would often start the concert or act as a perfect closer for an encore. The crowd's energy was infectious, with huge mosh pits and chants of "I'm about to break." The lighting was aggressive, with flashing lights and strobes amplifying the intensity of the song. 5E in the end, album, Hybrid Theory 2000. Musical description, in the end features a blend of electronic beats, atmospheric synths, and strong, melodic guitar lines. The song balances rap verses from Mike Shinoda with Chester Bennington's emotionally charged choruses. The track has a mid-tempo rhythm, with the piano riff being one of its most recognizable elements. Lyrics meaning, the lyrics focus on the futility of efforts and the inevitability of failure despite hard work and perseverance. It reflects on feeling overwhelmed, as if everything you've done has been for nothing, echoing themes of frustration and helplessness. Live performance, live versions of In the End, are iconic for their energy and the deep emotional connection with the crowd. The band often starts with a soft piano intro, which slowly builds into the full force of the band, adding to the dramatic effect. The lighting during the live shows is dynamic, a mix of cool blue lights, white spotlights, and strobes to emphasize the intensity of the chorus. The crowd is often very vocal, singing along word for word, and creating a huge sense of unity. Fans raise their hands, and it's common to see phone lights during the chorus, making it feel like a collective moment of reflection and release. For a Numb album, Meteora 2003. Musical description, Numb is characterized by its smooth electronic beats, atmospheric synths, and Chester's emotionally vulnerable vocals. The song's soft verses build up into a huge, powerful chorus. The combination of electronic elements and hard rock instrumentation creates a timeless, anthemic sound that resonated with a wide audience. Lyrics meaning, Numb deals with feelings of emotional numbness, alienation, and the frustration of not living up to the expectations of others. The song reflects on the inner conflict of trying to meet the demands placed on oneself and the toll it takes on personal identity and mental health. Live performance, when performed live, Numb is often one of the highlights of the show. The song is introduced with a slow, atmospheric build, and the lighting typically shifts from darker shades to more vibrant, intense colors as the chorus hits. The crowd is usually deeply engaged, with many fans singing along and the atmosphere becoming cathartic. The iconic "All I Want to Do is Be More Like Me and Be Less Like You" line is often sung by the crowd with intense emotion. The lighting and visuals often emphasize the song's themes of inner turmoil and self-identity. 3A Somewhere I Belong, album, Meteora 2003. Musical description, Somewhere I Belong blends heavy, distorted guitars with electronic elements, creating a balance between rock and nu metal. The song has a driving, rhythmic pulse, with a smooth verse rap from Mike Shinoda, followed by Chester's soaring, emotionally charged chorus. The track has a sense of both aggression and longing. Lyrics meaning, the lyrics express the feeling of searching for identity and belonging. Chester Bennington sings about feeling lost and disconnected, wanting to find a place where he can feel accepted and at peace. The song is about internal conflict and the desire for emotional healing. Live performance, in live shows, the song is often accompanied by an intense light show, with a lot of spotlighting on Chester and Mike during their respective vocal sections. The crowd typically reacts strongly, jumping, and singing along to the powerful chorus. The energy builds throughout the song, and by the time of the explosive chorus, the crowd is fully engaged. The lighting during the chorus tends to shift to red and orange tones to match the song's emotional intensity. To A Line From You, album, Meteora 2003. Musical description, Lying From You features a heavy, guitar-driven sound with a prominent rhythm section and some electronic effects. It has an edgy, aggressive feel with fast-paced verses delivered by Mike Shinoda and a passionate chorus sung by Chester Bennington. The song blends Linkin Park's signature rap rock elements with emotional rock melodies. Lyrics meaning, the song focuses on the theme of deceit and the internal conflict that comes with dishonesty. It addresses the emotional struggle of hiding one's true feelings and the frustration that comes with lying to oneself or others. There is also an element of seeking authenticity and truth as the protagonist becomes tired of the facade. Live performances of lying from you are intense, with high energy during the fast-paced verses. The crowd is typically very active, with motion and jumping during the high-energy parts. The lighting is bright and sharp, with flashing red and white lights during the heavier sections of the song, helping to build the tension. The band often uses darker, more shadowy lighting for the verses to match the lyrical themes of deceit and inner struggle. One Faint, album, Meteora 2003. Musical description: Faint is one of Linkin Park's most energetic songs, with a fast-paced rhythm, aggressive guitars, and a blend of rap verses and emotionally charged choruses. The song opens with a driving riff and builds into a full-force anthem, combining electronic beats and heavy rock elements. It has a sense of urgency and aggression. Lyrics meaning: Faint is about feeling ignored, invisible, and desperate for validation. It speaks to the internal frustration of being unheard or misunderstood, with a recurring plea to be recognized for who you are. The song is a call for personal acknowledgement and to be taken seriously. Live performance: when performed live, Faint is a crowd favorite because of its relentless energy. Fans often go wild, jumping, moshing, and screaming along with the band. The lighting is fast and frenetic, with strobe effects and bright, sharp flashes that match the song's tempo and intensity. The band often amps up the energy by encouraging the crowd to jump during the chorus, with Chester and Mike feeding off the audience's excitement. The stage effects are often aggressive, with smoke and fire during the explosive sections of the song. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not for more content like this. May you be blessed.